V shape na woka no.
Yes.
I could see the military no. Tama no te hokra no.
Yes.
Na ebinom gina one side and the other side.
That is U. That one you call it. When you they gave him U shape. Well, he's a serious person. So this is what the guy came in. He came in with energy.
Yes.
He came in with charisma. He came in with diplomatic intelligence. Very resolute. Very respectful. But then he came in as a soldier. It's a lot of women.
Yeah.
The kind of processes that you go, the kind of security tubes I be going through. Yani adini amagudi agra birthday party cry near president no maba no abesa because Chad, Niger, Burkina Faso had a military leader who was Blaise Compaoré. Or UN General Assembly for how many times? At that time, Sierra Leone, Valentine Srasa, 25 years, with Saj Musa, 23 years. They were going to UN General Assembly with military uniform.
Oh.
John Jerry Rawlings went with military uniform.
Yeah.
Sierra Leone had a military leader. Guinea had a military leader. Guinea-Bissau, they had military leader. Omar Bashir, Central African Republic, Bongi. All this at that time, Obiako UN General Assembly, plus what about the Latin Americans? What about the Caribbeans? Cuba, Fidel Castro, almost said or UN General Assembly without with any suit or with military uniform. The observer to the UN General Assembly, yes, Arafat, or the uniform, and called uniform that visited Clinton, White House.
Oh.
Back to back military uniform.
I see.
There is nowhere all those professors and then lecturers, security experts, say, were a democratic president. And didn't know the military. No country we in our governance system. How many military leaders have ruled this country longer than democratic?
Yes, absolutely.
Yet Ghana every time is one of the countries in Africa that spoke on the UN podium with a military uniform. So it is not a crime, it is not bad that the gentleman came here with his uniform. Ogel, Ogel of Gabon,
yes, Gabon,
he decided to wear. Ogel did not come because he was from Central Africa. Ogel came because he's a friend, coach me, of President Mahama.
Oh.
So at the instance of the president, he came.
I see.
Don't forget, I have coordinated with Osei J of Ministry of Foreign Affairs, yes, former Foreign Minister,
yes,
when His Excellency Nando Dankwa was sworn in 7th January. The same way, I stood in as the liaison officer coordinating for the Republic of Ghana.
Oh, okay. And
then Osei J stood in for Ghana. We received him, the president. There are a lot of things we don't have time. So now let's come back to why Traore's issue had become an issue.
Yes.
Ebi said, Ukra gun.
Yes, or the two
yeah. What are we talking about here? We're talking about people are reading regular security intelligence. About your and yes, cyber security near here. We are talking about diplomatic security. Diplomacy has its own intelligence. Diplomacy has its own security. And I'm putting on record. Diplomacy is not about anybody's social illustrations.
Okay.
It's not about anybody's intelligence. It's not about anybody's assumption. It's not about anybody's presumptions. And it's not about anybody's feelings. Diplomacy is a principle. Diplomacy is a standard. Diplomacy deals with objectivity.
Okay.
Diplomacy deals with subjectivity.
Oh, it deals with objectivity and subjectivity.
So you must be subjective, a topical subject. And you must be an objective. That this is it. Okay. This object.
I see.
Yes. And it goes not with anybody's feelings. So what we saw, and it said, 6 January 2025, 11:59 p.m., Ghana elsewhere in new parliament.
Yeah.
His Excellency Nana-Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, the regime comes to an end soon as the parliament of his republic, of his government is dissolved.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes, sure.
So 59 p.m., who mounts into the podium? The Ghana presidency goes back to the Chief Justice. because Parliament is to dissolve.
No speaker.
No speaker.
Yes.
So within an hour, President of the Republic of Ghana, interim, at that time, Chief Justice. Chief Justice moved to be a President of Ghana until 1 hour or 1.5 hours. In between that time, no, office clerk, the clerk of the Parliament, induction, roll call, and mentioning of the incoming members of Parliament, swearing in those who are going to swear in on the 9th. Chief Justice, you know, never swear parliamentarians in the Speaker.
Yeah, sure.
So between that time, no, Ghana President, Chief Justice,
okay,
or swear in Speaker of Parliament, around 12:1 thereabout. I stand to be corrected on at the time, but around 1:13. Ghana President goes back to Abang Bagwin.
Yes, yes.
So Abang Bagwin at that time becomes the Ghana President. From that time until 12:30 p.m. or 11:30 p.m. or 11 p.m. Sorry, a.m. Kopim say your best way a new president.
Okay.
So this is the catch. Burkina Faso the guy, 36-year-old boy, he's super intelligent. Who are the people sitting there? Tinubu was there.
Yeah, Tinubu was there, yeah.
ECOWAS has declared him not a member. They later wanted to warm themselves to him diplomatically. Wama Antiase, Oma Formu Sahel, into Adane Hoso. If the guy had come to Ghana around 11:52 p.m. on the seat, Nanajo can cage him in. I'm not saying that he was going to do that. But his security, they can withdraw and expose him to his enemies.
Oh, I see.
So he's not stupid.
I see.
He was not a friend of Ghana. He's a neighbor of Ghana.
Yeah.
But because ECOWAS declaration to reject him and move his country out of ECOWAS was originated from Accra. So he sees Ghana.
I don't need meetings on me and Wahado Muslim.
Peduasi 1, 2, 3.
Oh, I see.
And the guy is not stupid.
Interesting.
And to make sure, say, the presidency was not in the hands of His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. I'm not saying, say, Nana Beyeni Bibi, but we're talking about a trust, faith, and salvation.
Interesting.
Interesting. So I'm inside. What time did he come? Go and check.
Yeah, I remember because as at 7th in the morning, Namibisa omo protocols they said say afe na Burkina Faso president Eba.
So let me take you and the public through. In the time na Obamuno, Gabon leader and Obabe died.
Yeah.
He didn't have any problem.
Yeah, sure.
But when no time na Obamuno, one, there's what is called diplomatic protocol of a visiting head of state or visiting president. I want a security expert no ma bon no person besia.
Yeah, security expert.
So from someone when I'm interview ma bon no person besia say so we invite president head of state. No ababa bia your friend be diplomatic protocols.
Okay.
Security protocols. Entry protocols.
Okay.
And he said the who host you no and no obano or the checklist.
Okay. Okay.
The diplomatic checklist of the visit, and he said, may the head of state, head of the delegation, head of state, in this case, Captain Traore, may the 19 soldiers, you had the Brand 5, you had the Khemical 8, pistols, assault rifles, etc. 9.
I see.
And Nipa 13 and the Beshe military uniform, Ekura guns.
In the bag or exposed?
Exposed.
Oh, I see.
Then the protocols were there, no.
Yes.
Then the team, the government or the president-elect that is hosting him, also saw your validation.
Okay.
Now, no national security, and for that matter, a military, you deal with the air force, you deal with near with a flight ban or deba, or some of the commercial jet. But in the case of the Burkina guy, cleverly, or the military jet nearby. So the military jet nearby, on team packet our commercial side.
Okay.
And so the flight in BC Air Force.
Oh.
Now Air Force was kind of flight, No, I sure said, whilst he's out of the aircraft, Obeja 10 or 15 military men manning or guiding the aircraft.
Oh.
No, my drop one more flight, Pilots, and then the co-pilot, and then the air hostess, Omusia, cabin crew for Nisia, straight away to hotel. Then the military take over with the Ghana military. No more did that flight. Na Burkina Faso oba ne shy krano. Ni trade and chain. Or share flights no kopim send the president baba. Now, or your military leader and in the protocols no Ghana Army or Air Force have to make sure his security. President Mahama, His Excellency, has been a president. When your protocols or the Baba Breast on your TV say reading Kai, he has shared with them. And he knows.
Yeah.
So the transition team might not know, but the president knows. Now, or say, I'll go through principal streets of Accra Airport, direct route. You don't just get up and say, so then sure. So your advanced protocol, motorcade, obedi car scanning up to the Independence Square. And make sure, say, Trotrobian says you can so. Burkina Faso leader is spending 12 minutes from the Air Force. Opiano, ebi awanko VVIP long.
I don't know your Ghana security.
Ghana security ne ono na
Ghana security. Okay.
Ono be chiro.
Oh, okay.
Into okwa onko babia straight away Oba Independence Square.
Oh.
Now that is how he's going to enter. Oba, and as he did, Oba V-shape security. Oh, na ohwe betu an hu de wo kire. V-shape security ohwe ya.
Oh, me fa badwa baso.
Oh, soldiers bear 5, 6, 7 waha.
Yes.
Or bear 6, 7 waha.
Yes.
Obia with weapon.
Yes.
What I said.
Yes.
Then he blocked the V at the back. No abedi mfimfini, so he's the arrow man. And he has decided not to drop the car. Baby, our president,
Yeah, that's true.
Yes,
that's true.
Did he do
that's
that?
True. Yeah,
yes, it's part of his protocol.
Yes.
Into Oba walk 100 meters or 150 meters, so they can have clarity.
Interesting.
Why? Because our enemies.
Yeah.
Echo as enemy. Tinubu your enemy. Why? Because Tinubu French, pro-French.
Interesting.
His Excellency Nanado, pro-French, but only they know any picture anymore. It does not mean that we are afraid. Say obi betima beche no. Say the enya security officers ni biaka say expert one be say adentina ukuretu adentina oyeden. One, and the public should notice. It could have been say on a Republic of Ghana government, not Ghana government, President Mahama. I agree. And they have scanned them say tuen kura toy guns. But there is what is called presidential signature, and there's what is called presidential brand.
Okay.
What makes Traore, his brand of dress, his coat of dress, his signature of dress. Wama President Mahama say any security couple no manage president say or the person bebo no ho. Me no me nyanko say person could be a toy person.
You need to nimpo.
And I make sure say person no cry ebia etu bibia ni ammunition. Sure. But to send a signal that this is the way I go to places. President Pacho Minu better measure hand gloves. Minu measure hand gloves. Meba, this is the way I'm entering into the podium. Other presidency in our track mo besi e wani mo.
Yes, of the other side.
Of the other side. The security protocol.
Yes.
And why any V-shaped entry. It is done by KGB.
I see.
To monitor and to guide Putin.
It's not just France and
No.
Interesting.
It is done by Israeli Mossad.
Wow.
Israel Prime Minister acquired Israel for a V-shape plus. Okay. Not Prime Minister initiative. Where covered or way beji. Now these are special forces are only snipers.
Okay.
They didn't come and joke. On Tinaho, Emma Burkina, a country from almost day one of independence in 1960. Oma you coup d'etat, go and check Burkina democratic elected presidents.
Sure.
Oma you could become you coup 2 days. Obia a prime a head of state 2 days, a bear 10 days, a bear 17 days. And to him say, now before so another been the coup. And when him say Damiba at Togo Heya. And they could harm him whilst he's coming or whilst he's leaving, not on the podium of the descent. And President had agreed with him, say, yes, Oba, bra.
Okay.
Protocols on President Mama Nina Delia.
Oh, okay.
And in Pacho, the public listening.
Wow.
President Mama is not ordered by any law. Say on country be say no any Burkina Faso leader neighbor. He's aware already what the boy is coming. Obacha say will true right. Obaba Baku left and Baku be born now. This is how I'm going to enter. Now people did not read meaning into how the boy went into the podium. Oba and of Frosro. There are two things. We call it where diplomacy meets culture.
Yes, where diplomatic
meets culture.
Okay.
A conjuncture of the two. The boy exhibited the two. Very intelligent guy.
Yes.
He went to the podium and straight away to the vice president. And then the Burkina culture. How many tribal settings know Burkina? Half of Burkina population, they are Moshis. They have Fulani.
Okay.
They have the Gurinzi. They have the Mende. They have other tribes. He's a Moshi boy. In the Moshi culture, which we have the same thing in the Ghanaian North. So when you are going to greet a woman who can be your mother, you take off your cap.
Oh, move video no enter honomo so that we can all relate to it. Yes.
And taking off your cap, you take off with the left. You don't take off the right. It's an insult. So he took off the cap with his left.
With his left. Wow.
And then stretch out. That's diplomacy with the right. And have a handshake with her. Please. Uncle Hagen say any mama and aunt and family member ko wie and you no ko be Hagen. But do Hagen ka Ghana for baka say boy no pay vice president.
Also kwa na bia so da.
Wako Hagen no. And no be another story.
Interesting.
On my diplomatic handshake. O move wie no who was still the president of the Republic of Ghana is already declared. But then who had been the interim president
that is
our receiver no. He came here when Abambagwin was the president of Ghana. So he went to Abambagwin. But then, of course, I didn't know Chiobanu no or Sadeni Chenche. Or the Chenche said, he's the head of state of a country. He's wearing his cap. This is how he dressed.
Okay.
So Otuni Chenche Abambagwin is against diplomacy. He has lowered Burkina Faso to Ghana.
Oh.
And head of state. Vatican head of state is Pope, Holy See.
Wow.
On chain Ibrahim Traore. On chain Bassirou Faye of Senegal. Every head of state or head of government, all of them are the same. With the same power. It doesn't matter so you're Russia president or Chinese president. In just ordinary Chinese share back. Whoever who be a kokro ya hwanu or no your pet. In terms of the president, age there is a number.
But in the case of the vice president or your bad here, your culture.
Oh man, no culture. That's culture meeting diplomacy.
Interesting.
The boy existed.
Interesting.
Me, my whole, but I clap for him. I know what was going to happen.
But I was also standing right before, so I was observing, but that means
that is it.
Interesting.
Okochi ani wiye no, oko president no, na ne cheshe no. One kasa as president Mama will put it, is my young brother. So beautiful. Oya ni young brother no, say Okochi president Mama no, went to nature.
Debbie went to nature because only a pet.
Only a pet. Now another interesting scenario people were talking about Ghana born. Kwame Nkrumah kura walking stick. Sekutore okura walking stick.
Yes.
Mobutu Sese Seko okura walking stick. Kenneth Kaunda no okura walking stick. Eyadema no okura walking stick. Between you and I and all of us in the public listing, security experts Muntie, walking stick. A lot of them air guns. Omar Bashir and the walking stick, and it was a gun.
Oh, I see.
They are dangerous. In Tinka, Traore by and Okra walking sticker. And Kabaka said,
it's a dangerous weapon.
It's dangerous more than even the gun.
I see.
And nobody knows whether he had ammunition in the gun or it was a toy gun. I wanted the Inhiamo, near Timenya, professors, lecturers, Ghana security experts. Timika Mujina Political Science School, a lecture and cry said it was even wrong. So the military uniform, a bad democratically elected president swearing in. And I've told you and I've educated you, say, even the congregation of the United Nations General Assembly, they were wearing more than 35 military uniforms. Mexico for Georgescu of Romania, he was a military leader.
I see.
Or called UN chamber with military uniform. What about the Peru? What about the Ecuador? What about El Salvador? What about the Colombiana? What about Papua New Guinea? All of them were military leaders in the 90s, etc. But they come to the UN chamber with military uniform. So please, let's get it clear. So I'm crying out, mutual diplomacy, I'm not to a lecture, Madiano. So lecture Biaba, no Baba Catcher will say, democratically elected president, you have military uniform, coach, and catch and say UN Secretary General, you have the military uniform, channel.
I see. This same scenario, yeka wasem, EBS Dana.
Say, Obi, President, Bikra, coach, Obi.
Yes.
Now, you be, it is even extreme for anybody to imagine. It's extreme.
Because President Kufuor, in the case of President Kufuor and President Bush.
Yes. Remember how?
Okay.
President Bush visit to President Kufuor. I did.
Okay.
Some works.
Oh, okay.
Protocols at the airport.
Yes.
I'm
interested because related to this.
President Kufuor is alive.
Yes, sure.
Say, American for checklist. And no more protocol, diplomatic protocols. Diplomatic protocols, I've said, is not about any ordinary security intelligence. The diplomatic protocols is something I've said is based on principles and agreements. Or the checklist by American for the old reading. What are some of them? President Kufuor share George Bush. That one was okay. Or call a culture assembly. Or the next US or bar. Radar control, flight, radar control. America for take over. Munko Ghana Civil Aviation.
Oh, really?
Oh, yes.
How? 2
hours before the flight of US President Obama, Clinton, Bush, Ebesa Ghana, within 2 hours, they will instruct the country Ghana as part of the protocol agreement. Say, yeah, my plane, be a Ghana airspace.
Wow.
And then the West Africa, Ghana, a radar control, no quite Jeremy Yardie, Ghana for Yardie. Your radar control in Timukwa could do Lagos. Nigeria for the intimate do her. Your radar control Chem Wagadugu.
I see.
A Chem Cote d'Ivoire. In America for an Betanasroho, making sure said there's a total clearance in the air. President Kufuor signing and now signing. Minya Kakre here, no signing, checklist one, no take it. Or the 2 aircraft, 1 backup. President India need the second to land. Okay. But the first one to land on the Air Force backup. But you no take it. Oba Air Force say na person mu ye America before so obeba now the Marines about 3 months ahead of the visit and obedi okrum ha aye exercise security exercise akombu ye yini nyina ye airport wo ba bia omu wie ye no maba hotels or high buildings across o maka so mbaji including the tower of the airport.
Oh.
Yes, part of the agreements. He's no more president, so I can speak on the subject. So if it was a president, President Kufuor giving in. It is called agreement diplomatic agreements of diplomacy. What he has said, do visit also of the visit agreements of the visit. Meba or Castle Osu. American Judy President Kufuor nearby name the security protocols ne say United States President or African country and UK no ko and Germany and yeah be a settings in no e be na President Kufuor kura nim and say you be meham ye no we will scan the executive wing and the offices so the president have to step out from his office.
Oh,
near move and krama na kum.
How? Why?
The service dogs. Why? Or scanning for
president it's your no office now or receive another president from outside. Is he a movie president now or no host president in the office? Now camera scanning ho.
When I'm say when delay what is called emotions. Diplomacy has got nothing to do with emotions.
Interesting. I mean,
diplomacy has got nothing to do with feelings. Diplomacy has nothing to do with social illustration. They are all kind of a combination of social illustrations and emotions.
Interesting.
And then what you call it expectations. Diplomacy has got no expectations. We are talking about subject, object, principle, and then standard practice. Do you and a friend standard practice? Also, President Kufuor, me ba de bia no bibi kwa no bi power you bibi. Enti agye ni say me enu na be save. Kodwo pianim office, come on get out. Obi abepie, yes scanning obi a.
Wow.
Executive wing bia na nkrama na ba out. No ma be certify. Or Sheki, the service commander of the dogs, Akre, and son of President, which is Omudi Agro. Omu 2 days visit. Abra George Bush, you call Monkancha President Kufuor. Or a offer. Now, Mumisani say, George Bush, you call part of the protocols I assign here. Now, Obia ntimi mfa nani nhwe the direction of President Bush and President Kufuor right from the VVIP launch.
Oh, why?
That time, so what I say, immigration boss, near friend Matthias, he was there.
Okay.
Colonel, the coordinator, security coordinator of Ghana Aviation International Airport, Kotoka, Onukra Manengurum. I entered, but I'm the security. Let's get the fuck out of here. Come on, get out. Sergeant on duty, no control. We might take over Ghana VVIP. What did we do? Obia ojina hobia, mo journalists who pa check it, mo search. Journalists they don't go go anyaka tipa truck. And the DC tamak no so. You scanning wo cameras you and the dome nyina kini KG wo and the Marines you try wo share. They were the people who were having a site. President Kufuor and the ministers so dome ko nyina no. Everybody has to turn around. President and his wife, Bush and his wife, they were the people working on the red carpet. Time now, all room now about Akofan kind the beast before he goes to join the aircraft. Now Ghana Culture Assembly, Omo Bokiti, and when you receive no problem, mama, all corner ye Bokiti no. Edijano Kwano, na US Army, young boy, or call baby on Bokiti no. They spend music for coordinator, if any bapia or what my friend Umusan said, me say because I was there. Omo bonyum and crying sack gre. Now kwano kramano say they have to scan the drums. Na kramana ko say drums you know say bushi bantum ko touch na na yamono new drums. E dey na aboa na mpeke cent ni ye. Aboa ni shaky drum be true US Army or fight twene no de sika wo mu say. Bra say you know butu twene ni two. Get out for out of here. Move free mo fa mo twene ni free onko.
Interesting.
It was part and agreements of the protocols. Said they make sure say, Omo yomo juma, Omo say Omo. Now some security aspect said, "Then you know officer grab kroma na." You don't know about security. You don't know diplomatic security, diplomatic intelligence. Don't talk. Now I tell you, and when him there buy, Anna, Obia share outside. Only journalists kakra na KG and omjia no mo hwe. Even George Bush, President Kufuor no kwai mumusa President Mama, mumusa former president bia o belts red carpet ruba bia o the host nkwa udu a no wagina ho na watene Bush also no nye diplomatic.
Yeah, sure.
Enti no onante basabasa. The coordinator was a sergeant. Or chair President Kufuor we are no the news na or shato no stand there Mr. President. No gina ho because we State Department they are monitoring him from America and we gina ho and we be walking in. American president does not go in front of the car to sit, you go through the back. Or tell the car you are na bisin 2 year no eko tamak no enyan President Kufuor enyan na nkoju clean ano car na dey free ho and dey no call into a full staircase ni we and we gina soro wa wevu and look wevu na chakra on be can inside to form. You push him in. It's a lot of form.
Yeah.
But bones mama woman. The kind of processes that you go, the kind of security tubes that be going through. Yani adini ama her birthday party cry near president no maba no abesa because it's a calm country. It's a peaceful country.
Yeah, sure.
It's not that we stand there no. So be baha. Now base and your country ni na invite no. Traore nya Ghana na invite no. President Mahama and invite no. He was coming because of President Mahama. Yeah. He didn't come because of Republic of Ghana. Into a friend. And President Mahama had assured say Opeso establish diplomatic relations. Which is the very thing. Ompe ni neighbor so no more problems. Also in one union. Problem or how solve. Because our trade bilateral and our culture, our tribal settings, you know, in our border. Majority we spoken about President Kufuor name Edison. Obama Bahano, Oko Cape Coast. So be who the entourage or the Cape Coast. Now American soldiers nearby no. Why no own create you? Marine for no ebi okroma deda, but we don't buy in they were gun wielding army marines. Oh. And no move president no. I mentioned Obama buy. I'm on Holiday Inn Hotel. Me, I say things and give references so that you can check. Omuba and Holiday Inn Hotel, that was camouflage place where the president was supposed to sleep.
Oh.
A dummy place.
I see.
But no in a safe house.
Oh, okay.
They can't safe house. Obi away, you know. They understand.
Sure.
No in a safe house, American phone him so better.
Oh, okay.
Do you get it?
But now you're Holiday Inn.
The Holiday Inn Hotel. Floor 1, floor 2, floor 3, up to 5th floor. Room na no 509. That was what they gave Americans gave to Ghana. Say room on margin the Obama no 509 ho no koda. Monko Holiday Inn Hotel go business or die. Obeda ho. All the whole Holiday Inn Hotel room you know omo 5. And no mo J.
Even when he's not sleeping there.
Oh, so we don't miss Obabeda. They create the dummy. And no mo J first floor. And no mo J second floor. No mo dey nkrama na gumu. And come on, America's sniffer dogs, service security dogs, FBI, CIA. Come on, be about FBI agent, a CIA agent, a be a SSS, state security agents. Omu baby. Omu number that anymore. Or first second floor. And no seal of the staircase. And no seal of the elevator. Up to the 5th floor.
Interesting.
And then they put Ghana National Security, and of course some of them were BNIs, to mix up with them. Also to have a blend of the local settings. Yeah, sure. But American still are on Traso. Into Ghana Security quad in the Bamano, or Messa Scano, or pocket. As I normally walk post. What man crept you?
We be the truth.
Oh, my own crept you.
Wow.
Obama, me so je dan Holiday Inn Hotel 2 floors no man krama dem and no je top until say American president obe free the airspace of Ghana and so sniper a phone kwan no omu free ho radar control no omu free ho. They make sure say the president is out of the airspace of Ghana and say no marines in omu radar control monitors no and say no omu see from that are not president in no court. Then they have the other way. Follow no.
I see.
That is how the security protocols and then the intelligence protocols. So there's a difference between diplomatic intelligence protocols and then ordinary security protocols. These are cyber cafe, and then it's not about somebody's the own expectations.
Yes. Matthias, but during the swearing in ceremony,
yes,
you could observe after so Kokuchia Ibrahim Kokuchia, I don't know if I should call the then president or
already a president of Ghana.
No, make speaker.
Yes.
Speaker Nyadaje Church Burkina where the church Ghana for said they are men of brave men and what have you.
So, no,
yes, so now other countries were Musa. And all the other 21 heads of states now would say the other side and I could see say Ibrahim Ukono, I don't recall so Chiaomo. He didn't shake hands with them.
The ECOWAS leaders.
Yes.
The African Union, they claim to have a problem with the boy because a coup, but he's not the only person to have staged a coup.
Oh, okay.
And you can't say no more problem. There is what is called maybe irregular friendship. And a boy in Subai, and he's concentrating on his country. He's only been out to Russia and been to Ghana.
Oh.
And you know about business. Well, he's a serious person. So this is what the guy came in. He came in with energy.
Yes.
He came in with charisma. He came in with diplomatic intelligence. Very resolute. Very respectful. But then he came in as a soldier.
Yeah, sure.
So you saw him say he's very energetic. Or very enthusiastic about what he's doing. Very, very smart on what he's doing. And then he carried the country Burkina and the youthful exuberance and the expectations of Burkina who were watching him. So he goes into any other country with the same bravery.
Oh, I see.
And that is what I said.
I see.
The signature. Go ahead.
And unfortunately, V-shape Nana Okano.
Yes.
I could see in the military, Tama not to Hokra.
Yes.
Na ebinumu jina one side and the other
That
side.
is U. That one you call it. When you trans you, they gave him U shape.
Khemical TV. Khemical TV. Anything goes. Khemical TV. For quality entertainment. Khemical TV. At the room. Khemical TV.